What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. Wagwan, what's good? Peace. Sada, welcome. Stu Dog in the building. What's good, homie? What's
Hello.
good, Slade? Salute. Sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir, and this is our co-host, Stu Dog, and this is our female perspective right here. Sada in the building. What's good?
Hello.
It's Saturday, so we always do DC stuff. It's DC Power Hour. You know, we talk about DC comics, DC shows, DC films, DC animated, anything DC, because it doesn't quite get the light during our other shows, man. So we made a special day to talk about the District of Columbia. Best show on YouTube in session. You already know. All right. And I recently quit smoking, so from chewing on straws and doing weird shit, that's why. It's been like 5 days. I'm not craving a cigarette. I haven't wanted a cigarette. Hemp cigarette, whatever. So that's a good thing. But it's the habit of like the hand to mouth, and like, what am I doing? I gotta do something, chew on something. I don't know. So that part of it, but the nicotine and all that, the cravings and all of that, not really an issue yet. I hope it doesn't turn into, mind over matter. It's one of those things. Willpower. You just make a choice. My grandfather smoked 2 packs of Carltons, 2 to 3 packs a day, and just quit one day, cold turkey. And got emphysema several years after he quit, and it killed him eventually. But that was an example of willpower right there. Stu, I think your mic is muted. He's talking.
They said Jackie Gleason smoked 6 packs a day, bro.
Yeah, those old timers, bro. They were like lighting the next one with the last one and shit.
Oh my god.
Chain smoking. Because if you notice, every movie he was in, he was smoking. He smoked in every movie he was ever in, except for the honey. He said the only time he didn't smoke was when he did the he didn't smoke when he filmed The Honeymooners. That's the only time he didn't smoke on the set or the character. But they said he smoked 6 packs a day.
Insane. Like a chimney. But yeah, so it is like I said, DC Power Hour. SHAZAM 2 Fury of the Gods is in theaters now. So spoiler alerts. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. And we've got a lot of other cool stuff. Talk about a lot of DC stuff, including this new character. Well, it's an Image Comics character, but it's very closely related to Batman, and we're going to talk about it. His name is Nemesis, and he's got some Batman relation. It'll make sense when I talk about it. But yeah, there's that, and SHAZAM, man. The first movie was, I thought, better. Just because I'm not into the whole kids team thing. I mean, but that's just me. I'm not saying that it's a bad movie or there's anything wrong with SHAZAM 2. It's just really kind of, I think, maybe for a younger crowd, for sure. Definitely. But I mean, I don't know. Did you you got to see it?
Yes, I did. It was okay. I'll give it maybe 3 couches. I'll give it 3 couches out of 5, man. 2.25 couches. 2.25 couches, man. But for a movie-wise, I'll give it 3. But story-wise, I'll give it 2. But if I had to sum it all up, I'd say maybe 2.5 couches to be fair. It's a watchable movie. It's pretty good. It doesn't showcase. It's not. See, the first one was just a breath of fresh air. It was like the Guardians of the Galaxy for the DCU, and it had the comedy, but that's gone now. Because it was DC was very dark, and they just wanted to lighten it up, and I get that.
Yeah.
But on this round here, you can't do that. You're gonna have to come stronger with Shazam and showcase what he can and can't do. And it just seems like they don't do that. They're too busy focusing on his homeboy, which I get, but it just didn't make for a good movie. They should have been focusing more on the main character than they should have been on his friend. Lucy Liu seems like she's supposed to be the main protagonist because she's in every scene in the damn movie. But when you watch it, you don't feel like that. Like you don't feel like, I'm like, well, damn, which daughter? Because the main daughter is the oldest one. That's the one that's kicking up all the dust. And then you got the two younger daughters. They're all right. And then the one's in love with Billy Batson's best friend. And so it makes for a good ride. But the story is where the problem lies. That's why I had a problem. It's the only thing I had a problem with. But as far as the visuals, they were great. The acting was great, top notch. Everything about the movie was good. It's just the story is what falls short. And it's like Reno says, you got to write about characters that we care about. You got to make us care about the extra characters if you're going to put them in there.
Right.
Yeah.
The Wonder Woman cameo at the end, that was good. And it made sense. No, that made sense. It made sense.
Cringy, though. It was so cringy. All right.
Right.
I gotta look at it. I know it was spoiled in the TV spot, so I gotta look at that.
Right, but we know one thing. We know Gal Gadot is gonna come back because James Gunn said it. We also know that she can't be in any movies before the Wonder Woman TV series, the Themyscira. Because you gotta remember Wonder Woman's like 5,000 years old or something like that. So remember, she can't come back before that because she's not born yet. So this actually gives us a glimpse of her, in the DCU after being born, but she can't be in anything else until after she's born, and she's not going to be born until James Gunn does his thing with this TV series or whatever they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, the 2019 Shazam movie followed on the heels of the Wonder Woman 2017 and Aquaman 2018, and which were two DC superhero movies that had already sort of managed to step out from under that dark, grim era of the Zack Snyder with the muddy, grayish, brown, sepia palette that every movie. But there was something very, like you said, man, definitely bright and distinctly, fresh and colorful about that first Shazam movie, A Breath of Fresh Air, exactly. But the idea then and now is basically it's Tom Hanks's, remember the movie Big, it meets superheroes, basically. And when he says the magic word, right, the guy transformed, but the film with its very, it's every superhero cliche. It's like a lot of that, it was like I don't know. Very, very, very cringy in a way, but it's what it's. I think that's kind of what it's supposed to be, and so it, like I said, it did what it was supposed to do. Its production and release was hampered by COVID, and now seemingly, lame ducked by the arrival of the new regime at DC with Gunn and them coming in, and so it finally makes its lonely debut, right? I mean, it's there, but
it's just so much in the way.
Let me help you. Let me help you, Reno, because I know what you're trying to say. It'd have been a better movie had it came out at a different time.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. There was just a lot in the way of this movie's success.
And I feel the same way.
It sounds like they needed Black Adam to be in that movie to be the antagonist. That's what it sounded.
He should have been. He should have been in that movie.
Yeah, I think he should have been for sure.
Instead of the Daughters of Atlas, come on, we could do better than that. Say that for Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
say that for Wonder Woman.
Yeah. What I was saying, like, definitely Black Adam. That would have been a way, but it was off-brand. It was like you said, like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's kind of like a side character, movie and stuff like that. But again, I think it's just meant to be fun and funny and family oriented and brightly colored and
it is
antidote to the dark, heavy handed, theatrics of the Snyderverse that basically dominated DC for a decade at this point. But it had heart. It did, its stakes were relatively small. Its hero
that's great.
was much more relatably human than the brooding bro dudes and psychotics that we got from Suicide Squad and things like that. But so on one hand, we're pleased to say that Shazam Fury of the Gods has more of the same that Shazam Part 1 had. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you're looking for. And I think that the film also, for the most part, offers up some good comic accurate, visuals and cool, Easter eggs and stuff like that. But it does suffer from a rather shop worn and at times incoherent plot, along with overstuffed, overlong finale. I was like, I thought it was the end, and then it kept like, is it the end?
Kept going and going.
Right. It's one of those endings that just did not want to quit. But yeah, I mean, and most of the cast, including, of course, Zachary Levi was as Shazam, and Asher Angel as human alter ego Billy Batson were decent, and the rest of the Billy's foster siblings, because it's like they're from a group home, right? I didn't even know all that about Shazam. I didn't realize he's an orphan and he lives in a group home, and these are like his group home siblings, and they're getting ready to
he is. It's presented differently in the comics.
Right.
It's presented way differently, but yeah, he is an orphan,
right?
And I mean, he is, but you got but there are, what, I put together a small dissertation about Shazam. I'll bring it out Monday. It's too deep to go into the weeds today, but I got something for y'all, because there are better characters, there are better versions of Shazam in the DCU. I mean, the DC universe that
that's
are way more powerful. Yeah, they're way more like, you got Captain Thunder.
Are you busy?
Yeah, you talk about cut. Yeah, I'm almost done with it. I just got to get the comic recommendations tapped on the back of it. But we can talk about Captain Thunder. And Captain Thunder is a version of Shazam that exists on other Earths. So, like, if they really wanted to reboot Shazam, they could do those versions, and it's still Shazam. But he just goes by a different name. He goes by Captain Thunder. And he's powerful. He's very powerful. So you got to understand, Shazam is as powerful or more powerful than Superman.
Right.
His speed is comparable to the Flash. His intelligence is comparable to that of the most smartest person on. But that's
he's been around about as long too.
Right. He's one of their first characters. Yeah. I mean, there are stories I can tell you where he actually beat Superman. Actually gave Superman work. And I know Captain Thunder.
Magic is his weakness now,
Right, and it should have been, because Captain Thunder definitely gave Superman work. And Superman, kind of outsmarted him. But Superman always said the only reason why Shazam can't beat him is because he lacks the maturity to do so. And that was just in a recent comic, a few years ago.
Right.
And that is the reason why he doesn't realize how much power he has. Now Black Adam does. And that's the whole difference. That's why Black Adam gives them work. Yeah, that's why he gives them work. And they can't really deal with him.
Every time.
Yeah,
I will say the movie, I felt like, and this is just from my point of view, I felt like it had very poor promotion, because I didn't even realize it was out in theaters until literally like yesterday. And I'm like,
you're not wrong.
Wow.
I forgot about it.
I didn't know it.
I did too. I forgot too. Yeah, I forgot as well.
I'm like, where are the TV spots? And like they're saying, Gal Gadot's thing was spoiled in a TV spot. I'm like, dang, I didn't even see that. Like, so I guess that's good, but also like, I don't know. It just felt like there was a lack of promotion for this movie.
Well, I mean, and like Stu said, you got Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren. I mean, those are
some heavy hitters.
Those are big names.
Big hitters,
Those are big names, and those were two of the new characters, new actors in this movie, and those two characters pretty much drive the plot too. You have, and they come in too. When they come in, they pull the old Taskmaster deal where they look like they're men in armor with helmets on, and Lucy Liu even has like a mask to make her look like a man, and then they're all broad shouldered. And after they break open the glass and they take off their helmets and reveal that they're women, suddenly the body shape changes and everything, and all of a sudden you can just tell that they're women. It's like magic.
Oh, love that. That's great.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they're the daughters of Atlas, Hespera, Calypso, and Anthea, and they're a trio of ancient gods who are accidentally freed from captivity in another realm, and then they come to Earth and they plan to both avenge their father and retrieve the powerful but now broken staff of the wizard of Digimon. Digimon's the wizard's staff, and which gave Billy and his family, his siblings, their powers and their suits and whatnot. But it can take the powers away too. And
Right. And the wizard, but you gotta remember, Bruno, too. The wizard, he took the powers from Atlas, and those are part of Shazam's powers, and they just wanted the powers back.
Right. Right.
He does have the power of Atlas.
Right.
He has the wisdom of Solomon. What is it? Atlas, Mercury, Zeus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he has all their powers.
All the
and that staff. Yeah, and that's what they wanted. They wanted the power of the Atlas back.
Right. And there are other aspects to the plot and the villain's plan as well, like the golden apple and yet another campaign.
A lot of Greek mythology. Yeah, a lot of
mythology. Yeah, which is a DC thing, because they do a lot of that with Wonder Woman, and they do a lot of that with them. And so it's almost like Marvel sort of cornered the Norse mythology, and DC kind of got the Greek thing in their thing. But yeah, they want to reconfigure Earth to suit their own desires that fly by in exposition dumps that really don't make much sense. But again, don't take my word for it. Ask Helen Mirren herself, because she said so in the interview. Mirren and Lou are game, but their storyline has that sort of been there, done that sort of vibe to it.
Okay.
That makes sense. But no, what keeps Shazam: Fury of the Gods afloat for 130-minute runtime is the repartee and genuinely heartfelt performances that you get, like in the moments where I think people are gonna get that good feeling, that feel good moment in the movie and stuff like that. There's just like a lot of that, and that's sort of what carries it. The emotional, that's what they really depend on. There's a lot of emotional beats and things like that, but overall superhero family chemistry and stuff like that, the sweet natured heart of the whole family aspect, and that's why I say it's not really a for kids movie. It's like a for the family film, and that's what I think DC has been lacking. And that was a lot of people complain about Superman.
More of a family oriented.
More of a family oriented film, right?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I just think they've been lacking so much. But like, I feel like as far as like the tone, there's just like a lack of balance. It's always one extreme or another. It's never like, oh, we get a little mix of the humor and the lightheartedness, but also we're serious when we need to be. The stakes are real, and you feel like, okay, there's something like happening here that I can care about. It's just like, all right, well, we go all the way to one extreme with like we go as dark as Batman v Superman, or I maybe even like Suicide Squad, but then it's just too much. It's just like, focus on one thing.
Yeah, and the moments where it's supposed to be serious with the Helen Mirren character or whatever, there's always this sort of tongue-in-cheeky, like sort of where it's even the serious moments are never that serious. And that's a good film, the serious shit should be fucking serious, detrimental, real stakes. And when it's time for comic relief, that's why it's called relief, because it comes in and it sort of relieves you from the seriousness that's going on. But yeah, you know, Taika Waititi is a great example of how to not do that. You know, he just joke after comic relief after comic. We need some serious relief. We need a drama relief. You know, like let's tone it down and get serious for a minute. But Shazam doesn't. It does pretty
Doesn't
good at that.
disappoint. Yeah,
No,
it
it
doesn't
doesn't.
disappoint.
It's a good family. Like I said, it's a good family movie. You can take the whole family, and the kids are gonna love it. I seen little kids coming out, you know, 6, 7 years old. You know, Shazam, they love it, and you know, obviously, older people, fans, and stuff like that. You're not gonna just be mad that you spent your money if you're a fan of the franchise. But
Nah, I remember Elvis was a big fan of Captain Marvel Jr. Huge fan.
Oh yeah.
So his whole Elvis's whole persona, like his costume and all that, the costumes that he wore with the big cup, that was all modeled after Shazam.
Oh, shit.
That's all modeled after Shazam, bro. That's all modeled after Shazam. The big collars, because you know how the cape, their capes had the big collars. That's what he was trying to do. Remember how he always had the cape, and then he had the lightning bolts and all that. Yeah, that's all after Shazam. Yeah, that's all after Shazam Jr. His favorite character was Shazam Jr. That was his favorite character.
That makes sense. That's some shit he would do too. Eating peanut
That's why he always wore blue. Remember, he always wore blue. Step on my blue suede shoes. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yes.
That's crazy. I believe it though. I believe it. 100%.
Yes, sir. I told you I got a whole dissertation. I'm gonna deliver it on Monday, man. I just got to get the comic references together. I'm gonna hook you up on Monday. Hook you up. Yeah. A 5-minute dissertation, we good, man. Hook the whole 6 element up. We're going. Well, it's a lot about Shazam that's kind of like, but you got to go deep in the weeds on Shazam though. That's the only thing, man. It's the only thing, man. But I got a nice little joint written up.
It can be interesting.
Matter of fact,
and
I got it.
The movie itself, like the sequel, the movie, the whole Shazam saga, definitely is continuing to hew closer to the more down to earth heroes of the MCU than the more pantheon of the all powerful god type demigods of DC. So it kind of brings it. Yeah, they're and Sandberg and his team also come up with some impressive set pieces. You know, the collapsing bridge scene looked really good, and visuals that, while not necessarily eye popping, you know, monsters or crazy space shit, but they're a lot more consistent and effective than the work that we've seen lately from Marvel and other.
Yeah, because people complained about Ant-Man. They complained about the backgrounds in Ant-Man and the whole.
And there's a dragon here that blows away the sloppy dragon in Shang-Chi, by the way. For example. And so, you know, as well as a slew of nicely rendered homages to the mythical monsters, the Greek stuff, and the legendary Ray Harryhausen. And some of these, you know, individually notable accomplishments do get lost in the overly busy third act of the film. That, again, it comes to a kind of explosive, over-the-top climax that just kind of keeps ending and ending and ending. But there's definitely an emotional layer to the movie's climax that does work well, and thanks to the impassioned performances of, you know, these young guys and of course Helen Mirren and all that. But the impact gets, you know, sort of undermined a few moments later by a scene that feels like it was tacked in on, you know, sort of reshoots, added in, punched in, and which also features a cameo that has already been inexplicably revealed in the movie's most recent TV spots that we've talked about, Gal Gadot. And we don't know what this character's appearance means for the future. That is not clear, whether she is actually coming back or if she's going to be in Gunn's DC or whatever. And neither does anyone else involved in the shoot, we suspect. But, you know, it was cool to see her, I think, even though we
do know. Yeah, we do know this much, right? We do know it's all based on the timeline. James Gunn has a specific timeline that he wants to put out there. So, being that's why he said Flash is gonna push off everything. So we do know that we're gonna get a version of Superman, but it's not gonna be the version we know after the timeline changes.
Well, there's
Henry
two bonus.
Cavill.
There's two deleted scenes on this that you might not have seen on F movies, but I will talk about those too in a minute. But
Yeah. But
yeah,
we do know it's all about the timeline. James Gunn has a specific timeline he's pushing in that DC universe, in the DC Universal scheme of things. We do know he wants Henry Cavill to come back as somebody different, but not a Superman.
that second credit scene is sort of leaning towards Shazam 3, but Cavill coming back as someone different. I think it was Sada. Somebody said like for you to go to leave as Superman and come back as someone else. That not Superman, anybody else. I mean, Batman would be the only one that could possibly
I think Reno he wants to push. I think in his timeline,
he wants to stick with that.
I might be wrong.
That Warhammer.
Right, I might be.
I'm going strong with Warhammer.
Yeah.
Fuck DC.
Right.
Yeah, I might be wrong. Right. Now we know Rock's not coming back. We know that.
Yeah.
So we know that.
Ben Affleck's not coming back. Cavill's not coming back. The Rock's not coming back.
Affleck don't want to come back.
It's all for his and it's all for his timeline. But I think that in his timeline, Supergirl is going to be the Superman of his universe. That's what I really think. But we're going to see after the Flash movie, because we do know that after Flashpoint, he sets everything right, but it's not exactly right. So the guy that played Negan in The Walking Dead said that he'll play Thomas Wayne. He said he's ready to go. He said he'll do it because everybody's gunning for him to be Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, and I bet you they won't do it just because everybody wants him to do it, and it makes sense.
He said he's ready to do it. He said he's getting in shape and everything. He said I'm ready to do it. I'll do it. He said I'll do it hands down. So James Gunn's timeline is what we have to work with. It's already etched in stone. He just came out the other day and said that he will be directing a new Superman movie when he wasn't supposed to, but now he is. So who knows what that's going to entail. But I do know for the one thing, I mean, all the study and everything I've done about that movie, it's about his timeline. He already has everything that's going to happen in this movie. It's going to push every movie. It's going to affect every movie that he has in the works after that. So it's sort of like a rippling effect of the events of this Flash movie is what shapes his universe moving forward. And that's the thing. We gotta look at it like that instead of he's just cutting everybody. No, they just don't fit into the scheme of things of what he has planned based off of Flashpoint.
Well, we get a lot of, and you're right, but we do get a lot of info from these post-credit scenes from Shazam that sort of can help, because the first scene comes about midway through the credits, and it features two. Okay, spoiler alert! End credit scene. We're gonna talk about it. It features two familiar faces, sort of walking through the woods. You got Jennifer Holland and Steve Agee reprise their Peacemaker roles as agents Amelia Harcourt and John Economos, and they've come on behalf of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis, to recruit Levi's Billy for the Justice Society. Now, Billy eagerly accepts, only to realize that they're talking about the similarly named Justice Society, not the Justice League. And the last time we heard about the Justice Society was in last year's Black Adam, and fascinatingly, this is the first official acknowledgement that Shazam and Black Adam are even connected. And the legendary, superhero team Society made its big screen debut last year when Waller recruited members for the squad, and those heroes have been faced off against Black Adam and Hawkman and all those guys. So you wouldn't know it from watching Black Adam, but the Rock's anti-hero began in the comics as a key Shazam villain, right? The Black Adam was a major villain for Shazam, and that's why they should be linked, for those who don't know. And The Rock was originally cast years ago to fight Shazam as Black Adam, but both films went through years of development. Black Adam spun off into its own project, and basically they've been completely unconnected until this sort of connection right here in this. And official plans for the third Shazam movie have yet to be revealed, and the film wasn't part of DC's recently, announced slate, obviously from James Gunn or Peter, whatever Gunn. And so Levi recently told us that he has no idea what the future is for his character, Shazam. And that being said, new DC CEO Peter Safran is actually the producer on this movie and the first Shazam movie. And he's now the guy running DC. So he does have sort of, I guess, the power to bring that into the new James Gunn's DCU. The second post-credit scene actually calls back to the one that closed out the first movie with Mark Strong returning as Dr. Savannah. And it was the original villain and still imprisoned after trying to destroy Philadelphia in the first movie. So once again, he finds himself face to face with the giant talking caterpillar, who promises to team up with him eventually. And the caterpillar is in the comics. It's from the comics. It's Mr. Mind, okay, who first popped up in the end credit scene of the first film. And so if you're unfamiliar with your comics lore, Mr. Mind is one of Shazam's big villains.
That's one of his biggest villains.
Drugs, dating all the way back to 1943. So he's an OG. And
he was also in Justice League Action. Mr. Mind was in Justice League Action.
Yeah, really? Well, he was in the very first iteration of Shazam, back when he was still called Captain Marvel. He's been around since
he was.
The beginning.
He's been around forever,
yeah. And in the comics, he takes the form of this tiny but mighty caterpillar who has telepathic powers and recruits all sorts of villains to help him take over the world. It's very funny, very cool, very comic,
and he's very smart. He's also very smart.
Yeah, well, he's very, very brilliant. And after his end credits appearance in the first movie, a lot of fans assumed that Mr. Mind would be the main villain of this sequel, which I thought, yeah,
I did too. I'm not gonna lie, I did.
Yeah, I did too. And the Sandberg said that in his initial plan was to include Mr. Mind in this movie, but he decided instead to cut him to give more room to the Daughters of Atlas, because woman. So at first we thought he said I think he said at first we thought we would continue Mr. Mind and Savannah, so they would be the ones bringing the gods to this world, since Mr. Mind has this big plan. And then he said in an interview, I forget where, on DC.com, I think he said, but that wound up just being too much story to tell. Even without Mind and Savannah, the movie is still like 2 hours and 10 minutes long. So we had to make some choices, and that's who they cut. But Sandberg told DC Mr. Mind is still, he's busy. He's in the back burner. He's still working on something. He'll be back at some point. It just takes time, he said. So, but those are the two end credit scenes, and we don't know if that means that they're going anywhere, because we don't know what's happening with DC. I mean, we know what Gunn said he's gonna do, but I don't even, the way shit changes, the way they make these plans and say they're gonna do this and then don't. Like, I'm not even really I don't really have faith that Gunn's gonna follow through with any of that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. Like, that's why they should have just did a full-on reboot. But it depends. Like, I don't know.
Either all of it or none of it.
Yeah, all of it, or just like, this is too confusing now. And I think he and Zachary Levi are friends, so that pretty much ensures that he's probably going to stay, because the people that have stayed are people that are cool with James Gunn. So
back. I mean, hey,
see what happens.
It's all about
what happens, man. We will see.
See what happens. Hey, listen, I said that weeks ago. I said, look, with everything that's going on, we just got to see what happens and see how it unfolds. I mean, listen, this might be, when everybody sees the Flash trailer, everybody said it was great. It was like, yo, this is the best looking movie I've seen in a long time. And I get it now. Like, I went back the other day and I watched Captain America, Civil War I watched Captain America, Winter Soldier. I watched the first 2 Avengers movies. And I kind of see what people mean now. The quality of those movies, even like after all that time, like they stand up. Like they're still really good. Like the plot is good, the way the movie moves is good. Like there's no gentrification in there. There's no, like, all the characters are evenly split between male and female. Like it's a good written script, and it just flows and moves real good. So I see why people complain now about the newer movies rather than the older. It just seemed like Marvel took their time and made them quality movies instead of just trying to push them out and push an agenda. And none of that was in those movies. I mean, they were all good. Like they were really, really good. So
yeah, they got that replay value. Yeah, I don't know if that's you could say the same thing for Quantumania, because at least not for me. Hey, so it's just like, there's not as much replay value anymore with these.
Everybody loved Moon Knight when it came out.
Everybody did like Moon Knight.
Now
and now it's like, could you even see yourself sitting down to rewatch that? I know I can't. Like, and I liked it at the beginning, so
I like it too.
There's just something about it where it doesn't give you replay value at all, and I don't know what that's about.
Well, something. I mean, like, has anyone watched The Usual Suspects?
Yeah, I've seen that like once.
So, once you see it, you can't really watch it again because you know who Kaiser Soze
you know Soze is, right. It kind of ruins it, yeah.
Right. What can you can watch it again and kind of, it is cool to watch it twice to like pick out the shit that you didn't know and didn't notice before. So that is definitely a watch it twice movie. But after that, some movies aren't meant to be watched a bunch of times.
Yeah. I mean, but that was like a not necessarily mystery, but like it was one of those movies where it's like a one and done type of situation. Like the Marvel movies are made so you can consume them repeatedly. Like you should have moments where you just want to go back and witness that again and again and again. It's like, it's just, it was structured way differently than The Usual Suspects, which it really is. I feel like it's just a one and done thing. And of course you can go back, like you said, and pick out those little details, but
you're right. I remember watching the first Avengers movie like 7 times. I think I went back in the theater 3 or 4 times, and then we had it on DVD. Like I remember watching those early Iron Man, and they had replay value. You could watch them over and over.
Thank you. Cool. And that's what people are talking about now. That I watch
lately.
Yeah, I'm missing a replay. Except for Black Panther.
That's got a good replay. Black Panther.
Well, and it's kind of the same thing with the DC movies. I mean, at least with the DCEU, there's not a lot of replay value with those movies. I would say maybe you could like rewatch maybe Batman v Superman, because I know that has a huge following. You could rewatch maybe Wonder Woman. It's rough. Like it's
the first Wonder Woman, I could rewatch that.
Yeah, you can rewatch that. The second
one, you can keep that. Don't forget about Steel. Don't forget Man of Steel.
You could do that one. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Suicide Squad, the first movie, has a very, very big cult following.
For whatever reason, it's so crazy. But I don't know if that has good rewatch value. Like I feel like whatever you want to see from that, you would just catch on a minute clip on YouTube. Like it's not something where, I want to just experience this whole movie over again. Like
and Ben Affleck, like you were saying, he said that
he's done.
I
read the article.
He said he shared his experience of working on the set of the Justice League and how it pushed him past his limits in the worst ways possible. And he shared how Joss Whedon's takeover did not help the movie at all and all of that, but that he just does not like the way that they make films. He said, even as a director, I won't come back because of the way they direct. But he said you could teach a seminar on all the reasons why this is not how to do it, ranging from production to bad decisions to horrible personal tragedy, and just ending it with the most monstrous taste in my mouth. End quote.
Oh man, man, it literally drove him to drink again. Like it's sad. Like that whole thing literally drove him. that was one of the reasons he went back to drinking. So it's just like so crazy that happened. It's just really sad.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I mean that's.
Oh, and he said his Batman is only going to be in the Flash film for 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So if you were hoping to get some closure on Ben Affleck's Batman, you only got 5 minutes worth, according to Ben Affleck.
Yeah, pretty much a cameo.
Oh, that is so.
Well, because we know that as of right now with the timeline, Michael Keaton's Batman is the Batman that survived the timeline. It's the one that survived. So you got to remember, it's all about when Flash goes. You got to remember when Flash goes back in time, he alters everything. So things that were on Earth 1, because you remember you got Earth 2, you got Earth 3, you got Earth 5, but on Earth 1 he altered everything. Right. He is the catalyst that made everything be what it was. But by him going back in time and doing what he did, it changed things. And we know in the comic when he came back to the present, things still kind of weren't right. And even Thomas Wayne felt that. He was like, yo, I shouldn't exist, but I still do. Like after we sent Flash back to the future, like he was like why am I still here? We should be done. And so we do know that they're gonna exploit that in the next couple of movies with other characters. So we just gotta wait and see what the timeline produced that Flash messed up and how it's gonna be fixed. But we do know that that Ezra Miller won't be Flash in the next movies that they have. But that's just a thing where we got to see what he does with Affleck. And then Batman, remember, he was too old. He's kind of old in this movie. He's been doing it for a long time. So maybe what he might do is give us Thomas Wayne when he goes back and thinks he put everything back. It might be Thomas Wayne, and we might get somebody new as Batman.
Maybe. I just thought it's like, because that character deserves closure, just like Cavill's Superman. Because we just never got that time with Ben Affleck's Batman. Keaton had his time, so I just feel like he really doesn't need to be here, but I get it, so it is what it is. But,
Keaton's Batman isn't part of Flashpoint. It should have been Thomas Wayne, and
it should have been
Batman to give us some fan service, cameo. Ooh, Keaton. Okay, but no, like that's not supposed to be Batman. It's supposed to be Thomas Wayne. So is this Thomas Wayne? Like, is Michael Keaton playing Thomas Wayne? Like, what's going on here? So I don't even.
It's like, even if he is playing Thomas Wayne, there's no way I'm gonna be able to view it as Thomas Wayne, just because that's his version, that's Keaton's Batman. Like I can't view that and like, oh yeah, that's Thomas Wayne and not Bruce Wayne from another universe. It's just gonna be so weird.
It's impossible. But the Batman, the Flash outfit, the Flash suit, is Michael Keaton Batman's suit repainted red with a lightning bolt on it. And this is their this is the action figure. So this is the DC multiverse figure for the new Flash. No. And that's him. So see, it's Batman suit. There.
That's that's the second one, right? That's the second Barry. That's his suit. Because I know the second Barry, his suit is like basically Batman's suit, and they just painted a bunch of stuff.
And look, you can see the ears. They cut the ears off.
Yeah. And I know the boots were like made from his boots, and they just put the lightning bolt on it. They were made from boots. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's
that Flash. That's the Flash. That's good. Yeah,
that's I know the Dark Flash is Barry.
No, this is
that's not the first one. Yeah.
Because we know Dark Flash is going to be in this movie as well. So.
Yeah. It's a version of him. Yeah.
Speaking of DC multiverse, I got something dope in the mail arena.
Unboxing?
If you want to do it, just say the word. I don't want to just, take over the show and nothing like that. We got things to talk about. I let you insider decide whether you want to see, you guys want to see it or
not. I'm fine with it. What do you got?
Yeah.
Oh, well, since you got
we talking about McFarlane, but,
give me a second. Here we go. I got you.
Okay.
I got you right now. I got you. Hang on.
Well, while he's doing that, we can start talking about Nemesis because this is really badass. So Mark Millar, Nemesis, look, makes
Yes,
Kick-Ass
sir.
look like shit.
This is
Second
this is
printing, told you I was awesome. But yeah,
I like the artwork.
Did you get a
the
Nemesis? Did you get a
artwork
Nemesis copy?
beautiful.
Did you
No,
get?
no, no. You
I've been
got the
looking for
box.
him too,
All right,
man.
go ahead, bust it out. What do you got?
Ooh.
What is that? Kent?
That is
Oh,
Con
Superboy
L.
Prime.
Yes, sir. Con L.
Look at that. And for
Mm-hmm.
the reveal.
Let's see the
Bang.
there he is.
Look
Ba-bow.
at it.
Yeah, I've never seen that in the store. That's that must be a new one.
Oh, look at you, Stu. You found your
you found
very
some
own before Reno.
that I've never seen. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And guess where I got him from,
Walmart?
I wish. I only wish. I only
You got it
wish,
from GameStop?
bruh. Nah.
You got it from Wave?
Actually, I
you
ordered
them?
nah. I ordered them off of Amazon. I went on McFarlane's website to get them, but he was the shipping was killing me. I was like, oh, wait, let me see. So I said, I know he has a site on Amazon, so I went on Amazon and it popped up. Because it asked me that I wanted to check out on Amazon. I was like, let me see something. I clicked the button, it popped up, and I got free shipping. But it was a pre-order. It was a pre, so I was like, yo, I'll take it. I'll take the free shipping. Yeah.
Damn, Skippy. Yeah,
I haven't taken him. Now this is Connell from The Death of Superman. And this is that Superboy. This is Superboy from the 90s. Yeah, this is that.
So that's the Reign of Superman?
Yes, this is one of them. This is
nice.
This is Superboy.
Yeah, I want to get the steel, John Henry Irons or the steel guy.
Yeah, I seen. Yeah, remember we saw that.
Yeah, that's.
And then you got Cyborg and Cyborg Superman.
Yeah, and I need that steel figure, bro.
That definitely need steel.
Yeah, McFarlane's got figures for the Flash. It says for the Batman figure, 3,000 were bought in the past week. And then it says for the Supergirl one, 500 plus were bought in the past week.
That Batman looks dope. Me and Reno was talking about that. Reno was like, Reno said, I don't do the movie. I don't do the movie ones. He says, I got to get this one.
It looks good.
I need that Batmobile.
Yeah. I don't do.
Oh, yeah. The Batmobile looks dope, too.
Yeah, I saw
that video.
Yeah, I never get the figures that are based on movies. I only get the ones based on comics. But, dude, Keaton, 89 Batman doesn't count. That's legendary. That's mythological. That's comic. Comic level validity. So, but yeah, McFarlane Toys showcases the Flash 1989 Batmobile, and it's all size for your 7-inch figures. So it's about this big. About like that. Todd McFarlane did a little video with him showing it and holding it, so it's about yay long. He said that they confirmed that it will at least fit one 7-inch figure. So if you want to see Robert Pattinson or Ben Affleck Batman in there, go ahead. A 6-inch Matt Adam West might come out a bit small, but so this is the Flash statue that they're doing. It doesn't look like Ezra Miller, so I think I could. I like it because it just looks like Barry Allen Flash. Sweet. Yeah, it just looks like Barry Allen Flash, so that's cool. And yeah, it's 12 inches pre-posed, so it's like a statue. They come in the box, $40, and then they got the Keaton Batman.
That Batman is tough.
Super.
That Batman
yeah, that is really nice. That's the statue version where it's already posed, but they have, and so here's steel. That's the one I want. This is the Superman I want. I can't wait to get this.
That looks great.
Fuck
Look at that.
That's just peak. And it says, what does it say? You can see even more photos below. Elite computer listings suggested 1989 Batmobile will run around $80 at retail. That's about right. With figures are usually around 20 and 40 depending on the statue joints. But yeah, I need this. I don't know when that's coming out, but yeah, and this Superman is decent too.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I don't know if I like the upper body as much.
It's a little big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little big. Yeah,
bulky. I don't like. I've never found a Superman figure that I like the face. The faces always look weird, and that again, here it is. They're weird. It's weird looking faces.
Just
well, you gotta remember these are
like
these are mock-ups. Yeah, I know what you mean.
big
Yeah,
old head, but
these are mock-ups too. Remember their final version as it come out, so they're gonna look different than that when they come out.
Well, yeah, but I've seen these guys in stores.
Oh
no, you're right about. Oh no, you're right about Superman. You want because I feel the same way. I haven't found.
I really want.
Yeah.
I really want to get a Superman figure. You know, just one at least, because I'm not a big Superman fan, but it would go cool on my DC shelf. I would like a decent figure, but they all have either they have like rosy cheeks and they look super feminine and weird, or they have really big weird square faces that don't even look human. So I just haven't seen one yet, but I'm on the lookout. And that's the Batman statue. I want to see the Keaton. There's a Michael Keaton figure. So this is the statue, but they do have a figure. That's a Michael Keaton Batman figure that is phenomenal. Looks just like this, but it's fully articulatable. And then yeah, that's the Flash statue.
That's dope, man. That's
But see there, it doesn't look like Ezra Miller at all. It's just a face.
No, just a face. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can dig that, and I think I don't think that was an accident. I think they purposely were like, just don't make it look just like Ezra Miller because he's not really going to be around.
Right, and we won't be able to sell any if it does.
Right.
Yeah. We can sell the Flash, but we can't sell Ezra.
No, they can't sell Ezra because Flash is a great character, and it sucks that Ezra has put a shitty, spin on that, or tainted it a little bit. But Flash, I've always been a Flash fan. That is cool.
Look at that, yeah, that Robin. I want that Robin. That's Tim Drake. That's the Tim Drake.
I
Robin.
like those colors.
Yeah, I like
that's
that.
The Tim Drake.
Yeah,
that's the one I want. That's
fully covered legs. I like it. Yeah. No way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, you better believe it. Now, who is that he's standing up against? Who is that he's standing up against?
That's Big Bane right there. That's Big Bane.
Sir.
But yeah, I need that, bro. I have not seen.
I definitely need that Batman.
A blue and gray Batman. The closest thing I have is the Superman, the Speeding Bullets Batman.
Yeah, my first Batman figure is gonna be a blue and gray.
Yeah, sure. I need this one. This is definitely on my wish list. That's the next Batman I'm getting, no question. I wonder when it's coming out though. I wonder if it's out yet.
And is it an article? Did they talk about it at all? Or they just show you?
But I'm trying to read because that Robin is peak too. I need that Robin too.
Yeah, Robin. That Robin
about
just enjoy the photos.
I know. All right, let's see. McFarlane Toys brings back movie Maniacs, but very different. Oh, that's something else. But this is Tim Drake, Robin, and Hush Superman. That's who that was.
Oh, that's why his face is so damn scrunched.
And Nightfall Batman. That's Nightfall Batman. Okay, so we got Steel.
Yeah, I said that was Tim Drake. Yeah, Steel, Tim Drake.
Steel, Nightfall Batman, Tim Drake, and Hush Superman. That's why he's got the face. Yeah.
Remember they came out with another one, but he was infected with the poison ivy. Poison ivy had infected him with some type of virus.
Yeah. It said the last one is a variation of the previous online exclusive Ivy possessed Superman from Hush. This time clean without the vines. It's not clear if these will appear in the same wave or separately. So yeah, these haven't come out yet. But yeah, I'll be definitely grabbing that one. And that one right there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Might grab the Robin. I don't know. I have a Damian Wayne Robin figure that's really cool, but
yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab that Robin. I definitely can do that, Sandra.
Yeah, that's a statue. I don't like it.
Let's see what it says. Is that a statue?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't like it. Because if I'm gonna get a statue, it has to be a really dynamic pose. If they're just standing there like that,
well, he getting suited up, Is that a Silver Hawk? right there?
I'm trying to. Yeah, that's Silverhawk right there. Yeah.
Look at that.
Super
Bam.
7. Yeah, Super 7 comes out
That's
with a lot of
Quicksilver.
these. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Super
dope.
7 comes out with these 80s toys, and where they look just like how they did in the cartoon. They got GI Joe line, they've got I think they got a Transformer line, I think they have Thundercats, they got Silverhawks. They're okay. They are 7 inches. They are fully articulated. They
Yeah, because the
do
original
look
ones weren't.
like They do look like cartoons, though. They do not look realistic at all. They look like cartoons, which is cool if that's what you want. But I mean, the Super 7, like Super 7 figures across the board look like cartoons, as in no detail, just very much like an 80s cartoon without any detail. That's how they look. But they're cool, like I said, if you like that, if you're into that. But yeah, so there is some cool Batman stuff coming out. But speaking of Batman stuff, sort of speaking of Batman stuff, there is Nemesis Reloaded, number 3 is about to drop. And it's Mark Millar and George Jimenez, and it's an Image comic. But after an explosive debut back in the summer of 2010, Nemesis is basically asking, like, what if Batman was the Joker? Give me a piece. Just come on. Let me get one. Let me get one. A piece. Thank you, sir. All right, my bad. All right, so yeah, what if Batman was the Joker? All right, so now Mark Millar is back to his usual shenanigans with Nemesis Reloaded. It's a new comic, just hit number 3, just came out. Chaos, utter destruction, Los Angeles, and it's like a street level guy, but sort of he continues to crusade against the police force. He becomes even more depraved, and it's really dope. But before I really sort of go into it, I want to talk about, but I want to sort of like let you guys know who Nemesis was, and who this guy, because he's definitely not as well known as Batman. But I want to talk about him on DC Power Hour because he is inspired by Batman. Basically, it was launched, I think, October 2009 with a teaser image containing the caption, "What if Batman was the Joker?" And in a subsequent interview, Mark Millar revealed that it was only one of a number of possible lines they went with, his favorite being, "What if Batman was a total cunt?" And this caused concern at DC Comics, obviously, and the publisher of Batman. But Mark Millar denied that there had been any threats of legal action. He said, "One of my friends at DC Legal dropped me an informal email back in December saying that someone at editorial was a bit worried by the Batman and Joker mentions in an interview to promote a creator-owned book. They politely asked if I could avoid using those names as it was creating a bit of grief for them, and I agreed, saying that's absolutely fine. Steve and I chatted after, wondering if the cover was a little too much, and we decided to ditch it and do another one. It was entirely our decision and a gesture of goodwill, which the lads at DC appreciated. This has never been anything beyond a couple of friendly, informal emails." And so the series also gained publication attention when Mark Millar auctioned the right to name the main policeman character. He auctioned the right to name the policeman character, something that had been done with Kick-Ass. And the winning bid was $8,500. Somebody bid, and as with the previous auction, the proceeds went to the charity run by Mark Millar's brother, Dr. Bobby Millar, which helps children with special needs. But it proved so successful that the real name of the main supervillain character was also auctioned off. And in October 2022, it was just announced that Mark Millar would be writing a follow-up miniseries titled Nemesis Reloaded. And that's sort of why I wanted to talk to you about this. And it launched in January. March. So it's a monthly. Just got to the third one. George Jimenez is doing the art, and if you guys know anything, George Jimenez is
excellent.
Right.
Wonderful.
And following the conclusion, Reloaded, Nemesis will appear in Big Game, which is an upcoming crossover with every Millar World property, illustrated by Pepe Larraz in July. But the sort of synopsis, okay, if you're still wondering what the fuck does it mean, it's a supervillain named Nemesis, destroys a building in Tokyo, kills a SWAT team and a police inspector. And then in Washington, D.C., the FBI informs the Metro Police Chief Inspector Blake Morrow that Nemesis is targeting him next. And he's given a card that says, Blake Morrow, March 12th at midnight, flatline still counts. And Morrow and his family are put in protective custody. And Nemesis hijacks Air Force One over Washington, D.C., taking the United States president hostage and crashing the plane into D.C., killing hundreds of people. All right. Nemesis makes an international broadcast revealing that the president hostage in front of him and finishing it by saying, it's your time to hail your new fucking chief. And Nemesis reveals to his henchmen that his real name is Matt Anderson, and his father had committed suicide after Morrow tried to imprison him for hunting runaway teenagers with his rich frat buddies or rich friends. And bored of well behavior and less excitement, Anderson traveled the world to learn the ways of crime, hoping to fulfill his mother's dying wish to have Morrow killed. And Nemesis kills 20,000 people at the Pentagon using poison gas while Morrow is there, but Morrow and his partner Stewart survive. All right, Nemesis appears in front of them, and Morrow and Stewart shoot at him, but Nemesis is behind bulletproof glass, and he reveals that he put the antidote in their morning coffee in order to taunt Morrow about the inspector's projected March 12th death that he wrote on the card. So police capture Nemesis, who claims that he allowed himself to be caught, and it's true. And Nemesis henchmen have already infiltrated the prison. Nemesis breaks free, kills 97 guards with his bare hands, and frees the inmates, and then destroys the prison. He kidnaps Morrow's children, forcing Morrow to reveal his secrets. His wife had an affair. His son is gay. His daughter had a secret abortion. All these secrets that were kept from him, as Morrow is a devoted Catholic. And so it's going to ruin him. And so Nemesis releases the children, but he had already artificially inseminated Morrow's daughter with the son's sperm. So with her womb rigged to collapse if an abortion is attempted. Okay. That's just like a sort of an idea of how crazy Nemesis is and how wild it gets. And here's some of the art. I mean, some of the covers really great. I mean, the art's just amazing. Yeah, these are some more covers. Look at that.
I like that.
I love that.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. So that right there, that's that's number one. Mm-hmm. So that's the new one. That's Nemesis Reloaded. That's the new one that's coming out, or that's out right now. This is the original issue 1.
Nice.
From the old joint. Yeah. Well, this is from the first Nemesis comic. And this is Nemesis Reloaded. So this is the new Nemesis comic. This is the old joint. This is the original joint. This is the new one. That's the reason why we're talking about Nemesis, because there's this new one is out. And this is all artwork from the and if you notice the I don't know if you read Kick-Ass, but you can see that the way that the titles set up, the letter box, the
looks
black
like
box,
Kick-Ass, yeah.
It's just like Kick-Ass, and it's sort of in that same universe, and it says makes Kick-Ass look like shit. Yeah, that's sort of one of their taglines, and these are variants of issue 1 of the second printing. Told you I was awesome. So, and then yeah, so this is from the Reloaded. This is from the new one, and that's George Jimenez.
Wow.
Really cool.
And then Todd McFarlane announced the figure for Nemesis.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Digging
No, I'm
it.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I wish.
Thanks, dude. You actually have.
I'm just kidding. I wish, because it would be a good one.
Because McFarlane's been knocking it out the park.
Yeah,
So
the park. Yes, he
I just
has.
figured
Solid.
that was in
Yes, he has.
in line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has been knocking it out. Yeah, I got to take my hat off to him. When they made that deal, we didn't know how good it was going to be, but he keeps cranking them out.
Yes,
You know,
getting fed.
But the new version of Nemesis, the new iteration, this Nemesis Reloaded. Like I said, issue 3 just dropped, but issue 1, Nemesis definitely lives up to its billing as the dark version of Batman. It's definitely, it's like it's Batman is all black, then he's all white, and so it's kind of like opposite, but he's he has another iteration of the villain back causing chaos in Los Angeles, instead of DC this time. But apparently it's way more sadistic and way more violent, and all the boxes that everybody loved about the first one. But yeah, Nemesis is a millionaire, just like or billionaire. He's got tons of money, just like Batman, tons of tech, tons of resources, just like Bruce Wayne. But he's using his to fight police and cause crime and cause problems. So he's a bad guy. Interestingly, issue number 1, there's a lot more homage to the Heath Ledger Joker that we saw in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight movie. That's definitely an inspiration here. It's really obvious. And I think it's on purpose. In The Dark Knight, Joker fakes his death, which results in the goons bringing him to gamble, and the mobster that had a bounty out on Joker, but the clown springs out from the body bag along with his thugs, and they hold Gamble and his 2 guards hostage. Joker viciously dispatches Gamble and then broke a pool cue, making it clear that Gamble's guys would have to fight each other to stay alive and join the crew. And now Nemesis Reloaded reworks that Nolan scene with Nemesis kidnapping a bunch of mobsters and throwing them into a dry pool. And then he orders the blindfolded leaders to kill each other, or they'll all be blown up. And after the fight to the death, Nemesis shoots the survivor, thus lying about the reward of induction into his squadron. And ironically, Nemesis had all the deputies in these gangs observing, making it clear that they were the leaders that he needed. And it flipped the script on the death game, or with these second fiddles graciously accepting Nemesis's generosity and a chance to outshine their former bosses in this new movement. But it's like Heath Ledger's Joker didn't mind killing judges and politicians, going so far as to hang fake Batman in public. And it sent a strong message about his intentions for Gotham and views of society, but he hated hypocrites, elitism, and corruption. And so this was the purge that he felt the city needed. And to top it off, Joker put a bounty on the Batman's head and, was adamant that whoever killed Batman would enter his good graces. He would like them or whatever. And so furthermore, he'd later place a prize on Bruce Wayne as employee who wanted to out the Batman's true identity, something that the Joker felt no longer fit his brand of order. He didn't want that. And so Nemesis Reloaded again retools this concept, but in horrific fashion. He hangs the chief of police and drops the body into a political rally held by the mayor, and it nods to when Gotham's mayor Garcia saw the hanging bodies in Nolan's movie. But the best homage comes when Nemesis goes live on social media, indicating that there's a $10,000 bounty on every cop's head to end the issue, and he sees them as obstacles to social change. So he wants the public to terminate all these cops and bring their heads to him, and mimicking the Joker's attitudes, or how he felt money could buy the public and descend the city into madness. And ultimately, it leaves fans eager to see how Nemesis is stopped, and how these machinations pave the way for Mark Millar, Millar's World big game, Millar World's big game crossover. So it's one of those books. It's about a bad guy. It's about a villain, and so you're sort of you're rooting for him to get caught, but at the same time, it's like it's so satisfying to just just the whole journey. And but obviously the point is he's the villain. So like I said, they're flipping the whole Batman Joker thing. They're flipping it. So instead of the book being about Batman, it's kind of like it's about Joker. And
is he more like a Venom type? Is he more like a Venom type villain? Or like, because you know how Venom is. Venom's the bad guy.
No, yeah, but Venom
but he's
is a hero though too. He's like a good guy too. Nemesis is not a good guy.
Not at all. Nothing good about it. All right, that got clear. All right, we need to know that.
He's all bad.
All business, all bad, all business.
All bad all the time. One of the main ideas Mark Millar tried to convey when he put out the first volume of Nemesis in 2010 was that this was the evil version of Batman. Okay, focused on a villain clad in white, wreaking havoc all over the world, using his wealth, weapons, and power to make everyone cower, nodding to how Bruce Wayne would be if he were a tyrant. Admittedly, a lot was over the top in excess in terms of gore and graphic violence, but that's sort of the point. But Mark Millar holds true to his word, with Nemesis being the antithesis of the Dark Knight. Basically, he's just the opposite of Batman. And interestingly, Nemesis Reloaded #1 came out, and it just sort of continued that terrorist mission to break the planet and show justice, that it's all but a facade. I think his point is sort of to prove that justice and police and civilization is a very thin veil that doesn't take much to crack it and destroy it. And he's right. I mean, his civilization is hanging on by a thin thread. It doesn't take much to turn us into chaos. I mean, all you gotta do is take away food, water, anything, and it'll just So that's sort of his point. And with that in mind, what Mark Millar did in the first volume was ultimately influenced by what Christopher Nolan created when his movies reimagined the Batman for film. In that same sort of way, in Nolan's films, Christian Bale's Bat got Lucius Fox to help make the suits and vehicles and other weapons, and he had the Bat cycle that would break out of the Tumbler Batmobile, which he used to take out Joker in The Dark Knight, and that gave him more speed in the field, which helped him scour the city. And he was also used to wrangle up Bane's thugs in Dark Knight Rises. And Batman also had a rigged mask in that sequence, shocking the Joker's thugs when they tried to take it off him. When they tried to lift his mask, they zapped him. And so ironically, Nemesis has the same bike, which busts out of his luxury vehicle when he's zipping around just like Batman, and it allows him to just gun down and bomb law enforcement however he wants to. And on top of that, when he does get caught, Nemesis's mask does something like that, but it doesn't just shock him. It has little explosives protecting his identity and making the cops too scared to even touch his suit at all. And you know, Heath Ledger gave us a whole new Joker. I mean, he really delivered on that character and gave us something new and something unique that nobody expected. Um, with one of Nolan's most intricate arcs, um, finding him being dumped into going after Harvey Dent, and it led to Joker getting arrested and but the Joker wanted to be caught, right? He blew up the police station as part of a distraction so that Harvey Dent and Rachel could get kidnapped, and it was all part of the plan. Nemesis follows suit, letting the police chief Morrow take him in. Like I said, he meant to get caught and enabled the chief to sort of gloat and fill his ego and get all proud of himself. And it sort of nods to his dire rivalry with Morrow and how he came to America to crush this top cop, which inverts how Batman and Commissioner Gordon work as partners together, not enemies. So this is like his Gordon, but it's also his main enemy. So, but rather than take his wife at first, Nemesis kidnaps has his kids kidnapped, and also his scientists can operate in a lab, resulting in the brother impregnating the sister artificially, while Nemesis didn't burn or blow up the family like like Harvey Dent and Rachel got blown up. It was still a pretty twisted way to deal with them, but basically there's just a lot of parallels between Batman and Nemesis, and on purpose. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean,
that sounds dope.
It's fun. Yeah, it's dope. It's just a fun comic. It's just cool. But it is
dope.
Yeah, it is. But it's Image.
I liked Kick-Ass. I thought Kick-Ass was was a really good.
Yeah, like Kick-Ass. Yeah. Same.
The movie was good. The comics was good. It was very creative.
Yeah.
It was very violent, but it was very creative.
Right. Well, speaking of Batman, the Penguin series is now has started filming, and they casted some a Joker, a Sopranos actor, Joe Senatiempo. John Senatiempo. He was in Sopranos, so he's been cast. But that they're just getting their little street cred on because they trying to have like all these mobster movies, Goodfellas and Sopranos and all these, Casino and all of that stuff. They all hire these actors who are borderline wise guys. Like they're not really actors; they're actually gangsters that act, and shit like that. And they always, or they'll get like an actor who he might be in the family of some mobsters, but he decided to be an actor instead of whatever. So that's how they lend credibility to the film. So when you see a gangster Italian a mafia movie, sort of its validity is what gangsters, what actors are in there. So that's kind of the idea here. They're trying to get their street cred on, but they're basically these new set photos from the new show, and it shows John Senatiempo. So it's quite a name. Next to Colin Farrell, playing Oswald Cobblepot, and I think he's going to be. I don't. They don't know who he is. But the cast so far, I think, is Kristen Milioti from also from Sopranos, as Cobblepot's chief gang war rival, Sophia Falcone, which is the daughter of the mob boss Carmine Falcone, who was played by John Turturro in The Batman, and then Clancy Brown, who is Salvatore Maroni, and Renzi Feliz, Michael Kelly, and a bunch of other people in different roles and stuff like that. But they are they have started filming, and let me see if I can get you this picture. Yeah. So this is the guy right here. This is the guy, and it looks like something right out of Goodfellas or Sopranos or something like that. This scene, I mean, where'd it go? There it is. It's like a little. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So totally, yeah, looking totally gangster. It looks like he's gained a little weight. He's more penguin.
I love it.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, it looks cool.
It does.
That's a good looking, and it's a great scene. The actor, the guy, if you recognize him, he's been in a bunch of movies: Lethal Weapon 3, Too Fast, Too Furious, Bad Boys 2, Departed, American Gangster. He was in Boardwalk Empire. On television, he played Tony Black in 7 episodes of The Sopranos. He played Vincent Lamb in Magic City. Most recently, he appeared in the role of a Gotham City police officer in DC and Warner Brothers Joker as gangster Nico the Package Bugliosi, opposite Sylvester Stallone in the crime drama Tulsa King. Lauren LaFranc is writing, executive producing, and show running the series, which is now filming in New York City. And the Batman director, Matt Reeves, and executive producer Dylan Clark are executive producing the series, which follows Farrell's version of Cobblepot as he rises through the ranks to become the Penguin. And the Penguin, who did he say? Who is it? So Colin Farrell recently said, the Penguin show is dark, but I've got such a license to explore in it and such a freedom beneath the makeup. He said, there's some kind of permission you're given to explore in a way that's hard to give yourself when it's just your visage, you know? So I'm super excited about it. Yeah, basically saying that when you've got the makeup on, you can be much more creative and exploratory in your acting. So that makes sense. And what you said is somehow very subtle way is even better. Is just more perfected. Fucking great stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they started filming. When does it come out? Did we get a date yet? No, not yet. But I'm excited for that one, man. That's some DC shit. I'm definitely excited for. Mobster shit is my shit.
So it's gonna be more like a Goodfellas type movie.
Yeah,
I mean, series.
Yeah, like Sopranos, you know, that kind of thing.
That should be dope.
Oh yeah.
That should be dope.
How many actors do you think have played Batman?
At least 9.
Sada, what about you? Don't Google it. Just guess.
No, I'm thinking about it. I would say like 7. I'd argue 7. 12. Dang, Stu, you were the closest.
Stu was closest.
I tried to count in TV shows too.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who the 12 are because they it's one of these lists. But yeah, okay. So Michael Keaton, obviously.
Kevin Conroy.
Well, let me see. They got. Oh no, that's
yeah, dude. Yeah, they probably count animation. Dang, it should be more than 12 then, right? I don't know.
I know it's at least. I know it should be. Yeah, Kevin Conroy, Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, George Clooney.
I don't want that.
Adam West.
Adam West.
Bale. Christian Bale, and the rest should be Robert Pattinson, and the rest should be voice actors.
What about the kid from Gotham? Because he did suit up. Does that count or no? I don't know if they count that.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, because he suited up in the last season, so I don't know.
That's a good question.
Okay, so they're doing Keaton. Lewis Wilson was the very first live action Batman. Lewis Wilson starred as the world's greatest detective in 1943 in the film serial. The 15-part black and white offering, appropriately titled Batman, was released in theaters and proved to be a financial success, eventually spawning a sequel. The third one is Robert Lowry, who success of the 1943 serial eventually spawned a follow-up titled Batman and Robin, which hit theaters in 1949. This time, however, Robert Lowry took the reins as Batman. And then there's George Clooney, of course. Who else? Ian Glenn. So I had no idea that Game of Thrones guy Ian Glenn would be bringing the Dark Knight to life in Titans. So he was Batman in Titans, I guess.
Yes. He was Bruce Wayne. I mean, he wasn't in the suit,
right?
He was. Yes.
Yeah, there was something of a divisive response. Some ridiculously wrote the veteran off for being too old, while others were excited to see what he brought to the role. But yeah, he did everything that was asked of him. So I can't really blame him on that. But
he was very okay.
Very okay.
He said he did.
Ben Affleck. Yeah, Ben Affleck is another one. Obviously, Val Kilmer. We know that one.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
Yeah. And then David Mazouz. He played the kid. He played Batman in Gotham.
That's the kid I was talking about. Okay, so they do count that. Okay,
they do count him. Yeah. Who else did they count? So Robert Pattinson, Kevin Conroy, Adam West, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton. Yeah, so that's the 12.
Oh, they're missing some voice actors for sure, though. Since they're counting voice actors, they're missing a couple.
Yeah, because there was more than Kevin Conroy did that.
Yeah, because there was the guy from Brave and the Bold. There was that Kevin Conroy too, or was that a different guy? I think that was different, right?
No.
But I know the Batman from the New 52 line of animated films, that was a different voice actor. There was the Batman. What was it? Ooh, I forgot it that quick. There was another one too. It was a different guy. But there's been quite a few different Batman voice actors.
Yeah. So they're counting these 12 Batman actors. There's 11 Robin actors. There's 11 Alfreds. There's been 7. Wait, who is it? There's been 8 Catwoman. There's been 7 Riddler actors. How many Jokers? Well, let's see. No, 11 Robins. 7
4 Jokers.
There's a lot more than 4 7 Jokers. 7 Jokers. Let's see who they are. So who are the 7 Jokers? Obviously, Heath Ledger,
Cesar Romero, Heath Ledger,
Jack Nicholson, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, that's if you count the voice actors, but physically it's been about 4 or 5.
Yeah, see, if they're gonna count voice actors, that list has got to be longer.
Yeah. Who else? Okay, that was Heath Ledger. Cameron Monaghan. Remember?
Yeah, that was from Gotham.
Right. Joaquin Phoenix. Cesar Romero, of course. Jared Leto.
Which is my favorite Joker.
Which is your favorite? Jack Nicholson, which is mine. There were 7 Mr. Freeze actors. That's crazy.
Yes, there were 7. That I knew. That one I knew.
That's confirmed.
That's crazy.
That one I knew. You know, only reason why I knew because I had just read an article a couple of days ago. They ranked them from worst to best. I was like, damn. I was like, not best to worst, worst to best. Damn. Like, wow.
Yeah. It was Arnold,
Smarty,
Nathan Darrow, Eli Wallach, Yeah, Otto Preminger, all these weird Clancy Brown. Oh, Clancy Brown, he's not that weird. George Sanders. So Michael and Sarah. That's the okay. So that guy's from the animated. But all right. So one guy is from the '66 show.
Yep.
This guy from also from the '66. So there's the second Mr.
There's
Freeze.
two that played in the '66 one, and there was two Catwomas and two Mr. Freezes in the '66 one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then who's this other guy? Oh, no, he was okay. There was three. There was three on '66 Batman. 3 Mr. Freezes.
Golly.
Yeah, 3 Mr. Freezes and then Riddlers. Oh yeah, Jim Carrey was a Riddler. I think there were
2. Jim Carrey, the dude from the Addams Family, was a Riddler.
Yeah, that's John Adams.
Yeah, he was a Riddler. Yeah. He was in the '66.
Robert Englund, who plays Freddy, was the animated voice. And then there was Paul Dano, of course, in the Batman recently. John Glover was also Batman the Animated Series. That was a great one. Corey Michael Smith was in Gotham.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Edward Nygma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Jim Carrey.
They're missing what's his name?
Frank Gorshin.
Yeah.
Frank Gorshin is from the '66 show.
Mm.
And who?
Yes, I forget.
They're missing what is his name? He played Reed on Criminal Minds. He voiced the Riddler in Assault on Arkham, so they're missing him as well. That's the only one I know of off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of Batman the Animated Series, Batman Caped Crusader animated series ordered for 2 seasons on Amazon. And it looks, I mean, they're using the imagery, they're using the picture of the old 1940s Batman here for their what you call it. Let me see. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Canadian boot. But yeah, they I'm always excited for some DC animation, man, because they always knock it out the park. It's never bad. Let me see where are we at? Oh, so this is Amazon Prime, but it's got to be HBO Max also. But this is their logo, so that
that finally got off the ground. Because I believe they canned it at HBO. So then that's why Amazon is now
Amazon,
because Warner Brothers started selling off some of their older properties that didn't make it. So now Netflix has some of them, Amazon's got some of them. So hopefully they bring a lot of that stuff to fruition, and it's good for us.
Yeah, months after it was announced on that HBO Max passed on Batman Caped Crusader, the animated series has been picked up by Amazon for 2 seasons already, and after the cancellations projects for planned for HBO Max in order to cut costs, the fate of that animated series that would bring back Bruce Timm and reunite J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves was in doubt, but longtime fans of the DC animated universe like us, I've been looking forward to this new series, which is going to explore the early years of Batman. So, like year 2 and 3, but I think it may take place in the early years. Like it may take place in the 40s. That may be kind of what they're doing here, because that's definitely the artwork that they're using. And the series was first announced through a press release back in 2021 by Bruce Timm himself, J.J. Abrams, and Matt Reeves in a joint statement where they said, "We are beyond excited to be working together to bring this character back to tell engrossing new stories in Gotham City. The series will be thrilling, cinematic, and evocative of Batman's noir roots. While diving deeper into the psychology of these iconic characters, we cannot wait to share this new world." Fuck yeah, bro. This is something that I'm really excited for, because noir, baby. It's that 40s noir, noir detective, that Batman is really based on. And at the time that it was announced, plans for this new show to be released on HBO Max and the Cartoon Network under the development of Warner Brothers Animation. But they wanted to do the project, but I guess they said. Well, what they said was it is always fun to feed the insatiable appetite fans have for all things Batman. Batman Cape Crusader will entertain first-time and diehard fans alike. And with such an impressive creative team in place, we know we have another future Batman classic in the making. The press release for this hyped up the advanced technology and creative talent of both J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves being attached. And it says, now, nearly 30 years since the series premiered, Tim once again takes on the mantle of the Bat alongside two of the most acclaimed filmmakers in the industry, J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves, utilizing state-of-the-art animation techniques and technologies available. This powerful creative partnership will once again reinvent Batman and his iconic rogues gallery with sophisticated storytelling, nuanced characters, and intense action sequences, all set in a visually striking world. However, due to cost-cutting measures that began under Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, this show was one of the unfortunate casualties. But unlike other projects like the live-action Batgirl that we'll never get to see, maybe
I'm gonna get to see that movie. I'm gonna get to see that movie. Somebody gonna leak it. I'm gonna watch it.
But the opened possibility of shopping this show to another network, because it wasn't pushed as part of the tax write-off. So it was just pushed as budget so they could still shop it, and obviously led to the deal to develop DC animated projects for Amazon Prime Video. So they'll be doing other animated shit as well. And at the time of this information, the DC, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Amazon conglomeration have not issued an official statement, but it probably only a matter of time. A formality as the four different parties finalize contracts and details for the production and the airing of the show. But it should be noted that the Batman Caped Crusader began development with legendary voice actor Kevin Conroy to reprise the role. Obviously, with him, his untimely passing, it is likely that this series is going to cast a new actor to play the role of Bruce Wayne, and there's nothing we could do about that. But I just hope that he has that same gravitas and that same power and that same iconicness that Kevin Conroy had. And it can't be Kevin Conroy, obviously. So we have to have an open mind. We have to, this is someone new, and we have to let it be what it is and try to enjoy it. Hopefully it'll be good. On that note, Mark Hamill, the GOAT, will not be returning as the Joker in honor of Kevin Conroy. He said, if Kevin Conroy can't do it, I'm not going to do it. I get it, but I'm disappointed that he's taking that route because, yeah, he died, but still the fans aren't dead, and you are a fan favorite, so it doesn't really make sense to me. I don't really get the science behind it.
I mean, that was his friend, and they were it's just, if you're gonna have Mark Hamill, you're gonna expect Kevin Conroy. So if he would have been a part of that show, whoever's playing Batman, they would have wanted them to bounce off of Mark Hamill the way that he and Kevin Conroy did. It just wouldn't have it wouldn't have been fair to whoever is going to voice Batman. And I think Mark Hamill he's probably still grieving. It wasn't going to go. Those two were like yin and yang as far as voice acting.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I'm sure that's what he means. I'm sure that's why he's doing it. But it's just sad because he's the best Joker ever, and that just sucks. Would have loved to see him back as Joker, even though we can't have Conroy. It would have been cool. It would have been because we don't have Conroy, he's gonna come here and sort of carry the torch for Conroy. That's what I thought he should have done, but I guess he went the other way with it, and I get that too. But yeah, their voices are definitely the iconic, definitive Joker and Batman from the animated series that my generation grew up on, and a lot of generations. But this close association, with them continued with the expansion of the DCAU to later shows, other video games. They did the Arkham series together from Rockstar Games. And aside from Bruce Timm, J.J. Abrams, and Matt Reeves, the show also includes some of my favorite writer, Ed Brubaker, who is one comic, true crime comics. He owns that. So if you're into true crime comics, Ed Brubaker, fucking period. And there's some other people there too, as producers and things like that involved. But this really promises to be an extraordinary show, like on the level of, not on the level, but sort of trying to ride that wave of the Batman the animated series, the OG joint. But yeah, Stu had to go, guys. He had to go to work, and all of that. But yeah, I think I can't wait. That and like the X-Men animated series cartoon, like those two shows, I'm very, very excited for.
Yes.
Yeah. And ouch. What else? So we covered Shazam, we covered Nemesis. Boop boop. We covered all this good shit, the new Batman. So Monday, oh no, wait, okay, let's save that for Monday. Suicide Squad video game, we kind of touched on that, but there is this new game that I did want to talk about, or at least bring to people's attention, and I think it's cool. It's called DC's Justice League Cosmic Chaos. It's for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. It's an adventure game. It's more of a kids thing, but if Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League may have been postponed indefinitely, but that doesn't mean that we're short of digital Justice League entertainment. Let me see if I can get the trailer for you. Hey, you know what? Let me just share it. Here we go. I'm just gonna bring it on up. There we go. Let's see here. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No, I'm not seeing video from you.
Do you see anything?
I do.
There we go. Hold on. Yeah, it was all, I couldn't see it. Let me see, because I want to make sure you guys can see it. All right. Because it was just, there we go.
You're almost breaking when you team up. Leave these bricks to me. You're out.
Oh, that's cute.
Heavy artillery. Open sesame.
This is a mobile game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see this being played a lot.
Guess who just got their license? Going up and down.
Let me stop it before YouTube has a fit. But it's I think it's a mobile game. But let's for a moment. It says forget about the mediocre Gotham Knights. and the upcoming seemingly subpar Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. After all, as uneven as DC has been in terms of movies, it's actually been great when it comes to games, with Batman arguably being the comic book hero with the most good titles of them all. Then there are the Injustice games, the Lego franchise, and even the hit DC Universe Online, which continues to be popular. With this and our British colleagues' rave preview in mind, it's perhaps not surprising that when DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos arrived on my desk, I quickly grabbed the review code. It spontaneously looks like something similar to Minecraft Dungeons, and considering how much I played that, I was really eager to get started with this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just looks like something fun. I think it's a mobile game, but it's some DC shit. You run around Batman, Superman, and Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I think. I don't think you could be Aquaman or Green Lantern, or Flash. The big three, really.
Yeah, those are the only ones I saw in the gameplay. I guess you unlock, because I saw Cyborg, so I guess Aquaman, Green Lantern, but you unlock them, I guess, down the line. Maybe, I don't know. But the big three was the only ones I saw. Yeah. Well, it's playable, unlike the Suicide Squad game, which got delayed again. So that's delayed till sometime next year. So whatever's going on with that game is really bad.
Yeah, I think all the whatever, the reviews and the people, just trashing it, kudos, man. Like bravo to them for being like, hey, people don't like this shit. Let's not put it out, because like Marvel and that Marvel game and these other, games and shit, it's like, we told you that we weren't going to like this shit. We told you it sucked, but you continued to put it out anyway. You didn't give a damn. And, I like I said, I applaud DC for at least acknowledging that we told you it sucks and go back and fix it.
Hopefully they get it right this time around. Did you ever end up rewatching Gotham Knights?
No, I haven't had a chance. But yeah, so again, Gotham Knights, the new show just came out. I think it's just episode 1 at this point, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't like, I'm not saying it was great or anything, but I really expect it to be just unwatchable for me, because I don't do CW shows, network TV. I just can't get into them. But for what it was, like for a CW show, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't super cringy. It wasn't. They changed a lot. Again, this was wee hours of the morning. I had just smoked a fatty, and like I was foggy and in and out of sleep, and so I can't say that I really absorbed it, but it wasn't super cringy to me. Like, I wasn't like, this sucks. But I do want to rewatch it. I do want to give it another shot. And I'll let you know. Well, did you see it? Did you try to watch it?
Oh, no.
You're just not even there.
I knew that was certainly unwatchable for me. I read the synopsis.
Based on the synopsis and the previews and the trailers, this is gonna be trash.
Oh yeah, and I'm
give
good.
It a watch. Give it a watch. Listen.
No, trust me. The synopsis and the visuals, nah. I'm not even gonna waste my time, because like, these characters are they're just so different. You brought in a new member of the Bat family. They never do Batman right live action. He's always dead or disrespected. I'm like, I'm over it.
It's definitely not a show. It's definitely not a show.
Some people have been kind of enjoying it, which is good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it and everything.
Well, I haven't heard of anyone else liking it or not. I haven't read anything about anyone else's opinions of it, but it's not something I'm gonna watch. It's not a show that I'm gonna follow. It's definitely not a show I'll follow. But I did want to see just at least one episode, just to see. Now I just want to see kind of what it was, because I was like, I don't know what made me watch it or why it was on, because I was like, I was just like you. This is not even gonna bother. I don't watch any of the CW shows. I don't even bother with it. It's just not for me. So I forget why it was on or how I ended up watching it, but just something made me be like, man, I gotta tell Sada that this show is not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's
like,
weird. But again, maybe I was high, maybe I was half asleep.
Oh no! I mean, if you found something enjoyable, then that's good because I got nothing on my end. So at least if you got something out of it, then that's wonderful. Because some other people did too, and they're gonna keep at it. So I'm like,
did they?
Well, yeah, like the people. So okay, so one person I was subscribed to pretty much felt the same way I did. It was garbage. Stay away. Another person kind of felt the same way, but they had watched it, so it was kind of like, oh, you guys saw it and felt that way. Yikes. But then one other person, they were like you. They were like, it wasn't as bad, but it kind of is reminiscent of like the old CW as far as like the dialogue and kind of the cringe and even some of the cinematography and stuff.
Right.
But
that's what
they're gonna keep at it, but the moment they get disengaged, they're done. That's what they said. Right. So I was like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I want to see more costumes, man. I want to see more comic stuff. I want to see like costumes from the comics. Like I want to see it because that's one thing I do kind of miss from the DC shows, and maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, because this isn't even part of the Arrowverse really, but the Arrowverse I would say did a decent job with the costumes, with the exception of maybe like Arrow because it was a diet Batman, so you know it's just all dark and everything. But for the most part, like the Flash costume is the best that we have so far. I would say the stuff on like Legends, like they do pretty okay with the costumes, but this show in particular, I mean, just from the poster, like these people are not really going to be in costumes. So it's just, there's like nothing appealing to me. There's nothing like, I don't have any sort of curiosity because it just doesn't look like I'm going to be entertained. I might fall asleep on it. So it's like, and then after getting through the Flash, and that was I was like, nah, I think I've just outgrown the CW at this point. Maybe that's what
that may be what it is. That may be the case. I've never been able to get into those shows, man. They're just too. It's just too. It's like Power Rangers, it's just too. It's too fake.
Yeah, I would say the only exception is Black Lightning. That's probably the best of all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say if that's interesting, give that a shot. Because that's really good, I would say. But the rest,
yeah. Well, no, I'll definitely try that then if you say Black Lightning. Yeah, because I mean, I would like to find something to watch sometimes when there's nothing to watch.
Right.
And
Black Adam. I mean, not Black Adam. Well, yeah, if you want to watch Black Adam, but no. Black Lightning, I think, is also that would be the show for you as far as CW shows go. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. The new Superwoman, or what do you call Superwoman, or that one in the middle. She's from the CW show.
Yes. So that's Melissa Benoist. She played Supergirl on the CW. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're really going to be pushing that Supergirl. That's going to be their new. I think that's their new Superman. They'll have Superman, but yeah, it's a lot of Supergirl.
How unfortunate if that's like the new Superman, because that's not what we asked for.
No, it's not at all. Not at all. But Superman's origin as a tragic orphan turned symbol of hope has passed beyond comic books to broader popular culture, and it's a story that's too big to be changed. They can't really do too much to it, so I think this gives them a license to maybe do some different stuff, because you can't really, it's like Star Wars, it's like these franchises, you got to play within that sandbox, you can't, there's only so much you can do. So it might be something to give them some freedom or whatever, or it might just be inclusion and trying to give some more feminine, female characters and things like that. So, but I don't mind having a Supergirl and a Superman.
Like, I don't care about that. That's fine.
That's cool because Supergirl's it could be a cool character. I mean, if they do it right, it's a cool character. It's a cool idea.
Fine on her own.
Yeah.
The problem is they take Superman's stories and his relationships and inject it into her. That's the problem, and it's like that's not.
She's Superman's cousin, but she's far more than a gender swapped carbon copy of Superman. She's not that.
Right, and that's what they did on the CW. They basically took all of Superman's stories, whichever ones they wanted to use, his villains and his relationships with Jimmy and whatever, and they gave it to Kara. And it was just kind of like, and even when Superman came into the CW later on, it was just kind of like, it was weird. And that's why he just went off to the better Superman and Lois show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's no reason, because Kara, her story is undeniably more complicated than Superman. He's it's a very simple. Her story is sadder. It's more tragic. And more engaging than Kal-El.
They could work with that quite a bit.
Absolutely. And having won over the Arrowverse and returning to DC live action movies for the first time in 4 decades. This is the age of Supergirl we might be entering, because it was like that 80s version.
Yeah, that was the only one, right? Yeah, as far as movies.
Yeah. They never tried it again because it was bad. Like people, I guess, hated it. I dug it. I was a little kid. I didn't know any better. I thought, like, I had a crush on her. I thought, so I that was. But I
think I saw it like once, and I was just kind of like, all right, well, we can move on.
Right. I think I was, maybe 5 or 6 years old, 7, something like that. And it was in the 80s, like when it came out, so it was like, it was different to see it at the time when that's how all movies looked. But to go back, it does not age well, to go back and look at that movie. So they probably just tried to stay away from it. But yeah, it's a cool story. She has a dope background, like a lot of DC characters, the history has has changed a lot since she came out. And she came out and she started in 1959. So she's not like a new character. Yeah. And DC's massive multiversal resets and retcons have taken it out on many characters. But Supergirl was a major casualty of one of the first 1985's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Oof. And when the Anti-Monitor shot her in the back with the blast of antimatter, and her death launched thousands of tribes and or tributes and armies and stuff, thanks to the cover of the Event's 7th issue. But it saved them. It served a more practical purpose too, because DC was trying to simplify the 50 years of continuity that they had that was sort of getting convoluted, and a big part of that was trimming down Superman's extended family to make him unique, because they wanted it to be a special thing that he was who he was, because over the years he had been joined by Superboy and the Legion of Super Pets, and Crypto the Super Dog and the Relatives, and Van Z and Supergirl, and after Kara dies, she doesn't come back for 20 years until she's reintroduced in Superman Batman in 2004. And that shit that Tom King did is crazy, man. You guys really got to read that comic. It's I think it's called Once Upon a Time in Krypton. What is it called? No, it's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what they're basing it off of, right?
Yes. Yeah. Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's good. Like, it's really good. And I would not recommend normally a Supergirl comic to anybody, but this is actually was really good. Yeah.
Man, I hope they stick
Cool
to
character.
it.
I do too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But it's the cool thing about it is that the guy that wrote it is the same guy doing the movie. So there's no reason for this to deviate too much from the comic. Like, please, like, you know, the biggest reason why the stories and the characters and everything change from the movies is that it's a new person making the movie and they want to make it their own thing. I'm very anxious to see when the guy that wrote the comic is the guy making the movie. Then do they still change it? And so I'm very, very curious to see how this goes. So we'll definitely be talking about that when it comes out. But yeah, man, that's pretty much our show, guys. It is been 2 hours. It is 8:35. It's Saturday. We'll be back Monday. You guys already know, every Monday, every Saturday, every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We here doing the live, chopping it up, and we will see you guys Monday. So have a good rest of your weekend. Sada, thank you as always. And,
of course.
yes. Peace.
Bye.